Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, as you're probably going to be able to tell, this is going to be a very different sort of video than what we are used to. You guys have always looked at my Sims game, but what we are looking at today is my table with a book on it. Okay, so when I did an update some time back, I said I would give you guys a little sneak peek of what I did on my other channel, and I said the same thing over on my other channel, and so I actually did a Sims video over there, and today I am here with you guys to just kind of show you a little bit about what we do over there. So if you want to check that out, you can go to that channel and you will see more of that. Today is just going to be like a little sneak peek, just to kind of give you an idea of what goes on over there. So what goes on over there is we talk a lot about journals, fountain pens, notebooks, that kind of stuff, planners, that kind of stuff. But another thing we also talk about and what we dive into is the world of adult coloring. So this is an adult coloring book. And this is basically what it is. It's a coloring book for grown-ups, which means that this is not going to be your typical kids coloring book. It's going to be quite a lot more intricate and detailed than what you're going to see in a kids coloring book. This book here is called Nollag, and this is by Edwina McNamee. This is a Christmas-themed coloring book or holiday season-themed coloring book. So as you can see, the pictures in here is a lot more difficult and a lot more intricate than what you would actually see in a kids coloring book. Okay, so what happens with these is a lot of adults really find this to be therapeutic and relaxing, and I am one of them. I love to just sit and listen to an audiobook and color on a page. How this works is, there's no time limit to complete a page unless you're kind of in a contest or something like that. Or if you're participating in a color along, and there's usually some set dates to finish up your picture. But this is supposed to be very relaxing and therapeutic, and so what I do is a lot of times I will listen to an audiobook and just sit down and color on a page in whatever coloring book that I choose. And I have a lot of different coloring books. So basically what you need to get started in something like this is you need a coloring book and you need something to color with. A lot of people will use colored pencils. A lot of people will, there's other people that will use markers. Sometimes you can use a combination of both. It depends on how creative you want to get. You can even use watercolors if you choose, depending on how good your paper is, and that's another thing that we could talk about. But basically what you're going to need is a coloring book, which you can go to your dollar store or Walmart and pick something up. You can find a whole slew of them on Amazon, which most of mine came from Amazon. You will also need something to color with. And this is a set of colored pencils that I have. These are some Colleen colored pencils. And I got these some time back, but I haven't used them very much. I think I used them like on one picture. It seems like I have every colored pencil known to man, so I laughingly call myself a pencil hoe. Because I have so many pencils. Now, what you can do is you can go from your very affordable, like your set of Crayolas, which you can find at the dollar store, or like I said, Walmart, or you can go very high end and get something like Faber-Castell Polychromos, which are these. And these are more artist grade colored pencils. It depends on how much money you want to spend or how much money you can spend. It depends on how much you want to invest in this particular hobby. A lot of people will, go the affordable route, while other people will choose to go more high end and get artist grade colored pencils because they are easier to work with, and they have them in what's called open stock, meaning that if you run out of a pencil, you don't have to go out and buy a whole entire set to get that one color. You can actually just order the colors that you want. Okay. So that's basically what you need to get started. Either you need a coloring book and something to color with, mainly colored pencils or markers. Crayola makes markers, water-based markers, and there's a lot of different markers that you can use. You can even use both on your picture. Like I've seen a lot of people just kind of put down a layer of marker and then they will go over it with some colored pencils. A couple of other things that you may need, these are accessory wise. Now you've probably seen that my colored pencils are in a pencil case. A lot of times pencils will either come in like a cardboard box, or they may come in a metal tin like this. Now these pencils are Sargent artist colored pencils. And a lot of people find the tins with the trays a little bit hard to deal with because you are kind of taking off the tray to to get to your next layer like so. Okay, and a lot of people find that very annoying, and I am one of them. So what they choose to do is they choose to get a pencil case to put their pencils in, as you have seen that I have. There are also marker cases that you can get to put your markers in, but that's not needed. You don't have to. But another couple of things that you may want to get is, if you use color pencils, you're definitely going to need a pencil sharpener. And this one is called a Toggle sharpener. There are a lot of different pencil sharpeners on the market, so you can find pretty much anything that you would want. Another thing that you may want to get is an eraser, because if you make like a little oopsie, you know, you have something to erase that with. This one is an electronic eraser or a battery-powered eraser from Derwent, and that just makes it easier to erase what you need to erase. It's battery operated, and it means that the eraser head just kind of goes around like so, as you guys can see, and it just helps to erase it a lot better. Here's another example of a pencil sharpener. This one is called a M&R sharpener, and it kind of looks like I think they call this one a bullet point. Okay, this one is totally brass. Okay, you may also want to get a bigger eraser if you make, if you find that you started on a bigger area and you don't like the color, you can get an eraser like this to erase a lot more area. So those are just a couple of accessories that you can get to go along with your coloring. But like I said, basically to get started is get a book and get something to color with, whether it be color pencils or markers. All right, so what we also do on this channel, as I said, we do something called a color and gab, meaning that we will pick out a picture in a coloring book and I'll color on camera, and we just sit and chat while I color, and you guys can actually see the picture come to life. So before we do that, we're actually going to be doing a little bit of that today, but before I do that, let me show you some things that I have colored. And I just have a couple of my books out, but I'll just show you, since we're kind of right around the corner of Christmas, I got a couple of Christmas books out, and so I'll just kind of show you what I have done in them a little bit. So this one is from Creative Haven. This is called Ugly Holiday Sweaters, and I have actually colored this picture last year. So this book just has Christmas sweaters in it, you know, what people call ugly holiday sweaters. So this book is really cute. Okay, and then we're going to be coloring out of this book today. This is called Nollag. Again, this is by Edwina McNamee. Now I have colored a picture in here also last year. I got this book last year, so I did color this picture, and I used a set of pencils called Lyra Rembrandt. And the Lyras are kind of the mid-range brand of colored pencils that you can get. They're not super affordable, but they're not real expensive either. I think there's like 72 pencils in the set. But anyway, I used the Lyra Rembrandt pencils on this picture. And then also the glitter parts that you see, the parts that I used to kind of spruce up the little gifts, I used Stickles, which is glitter glue. They make all different kinds of colors of that. So I just put some of that on the presents to make it sparkly. I also have started on another picture last year that I did not finish up before Christmas, so I went ahead and set it aside, and we'll work on it this year again. Okay, so let me see if I can find it. Okay, where is that picture? It is a set of stockings that I have started. Okay, here it is. So this picture I didn't get very far in it, but I started this one with my Faber-Castell Polychromos, which are the pencils that I showed you. These are the higher end sort of artist grade ones. I love those pencils. It really makes it easy to blend and shade with. And by blending and shading, meaning that you go you shade from one color to another just to kind of give it some depth and dimension and stuff. You don't have to do it that way, but you can if you like. A lot of people do, and it makes the picture come out really nice. But you don't have to do it that way. A lot of friends that I have just straight color, meaning that they just they'll grab a color and they won't worry about any kind of like blending or shading or anything like that. All right, so what we're gonna color today, we're probably not gonna be able to finish it, but what we're gonna work on today is we're gonna work on some of these little ornaments, okay? And I'm going to use this set of colored pencils. These are called the Colleen colored pencils, And I did actually kind of show these to you guys. So we're going to use these today because I didn't really use these very much. And so we're just going to work on this picture with the Colleen pencils. So what we're going to do today is we're just going to color a little bit on this picture, and we're just going to chat a little bit. And so I'll kind of tell you guys a little bit more about me that you may not know, because when you're playing The Sims, like we don't really chat about, like, you know, life things or, you know, anything like that. So I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit so that we can go ahead and get started. Now, one thing that I am going to tell you guys is that, and you guys know this if you've been watching my Sims videos, is that I am visually impaired. So this means that I kind of do things a little bit slower because my field of vision is limited. And also I have to get close to the work so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to try to keep my head out of the way as much as possible so that you guys can just, you know, see my hand coloring. But I will try to keep my head out of the way as much as possible, but I'm sorry if it gets in the way a little bit. It just can't be helped because I do have to get so close to the work. So I'm going to grab some colors and I will be right back. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and work on this little ornament right here, and I've chosen a couple of different purples. We have one slightly darker one, and then we have a lighter one, and I'm going to try to do a little bit of shading on this little ornament. So anyway, how we do this is I just kind of start coloring a little bit, and we just kind of chat just a little bit while we do this. So anyway, what I tend to ask everybody on my other channel is, how is everybody doing? And I hope you all are doing well. And are you doing anything special at the moment? So we'll try to kind of keep this Sims related, since this is a simming channel, not really a coloring channel, but you know, we'll try to keep this a little bit Sims related. So anyway, and we'll just chat just a little bit. So how did you guys get started in playing The Sims? And which version did you guys start on? Were you a simmer all the way back from 2000 when Sims 1 started? Or did you start with Sims 2? Or did you start out with Sims 3? Or are you a new simmer? And are you doing Sims 4? So I started out with Sims 3 back in 2011, right after Pets came out. And shortly after that, I started doing the Let's Plays on the channel. And I'm still doing those. Like, I kind of started like a Sims 3 series and a Sims 4 series, but, and I don't know, I think I'm going to do like maybe 15 to 20 parts on it. So anyway, what is it about The Sims that you guys love? What I love is, I like the gameplay, but I really like making Sims because I am a writer, an aspiring author, I guess, and I like to make Sims because I love, like, you know, things like character development, and I love just, you know, having a visual as far as like what my characters look like. And to be able to kind of get to know them a little bit more. It really helps to kind of have that little visual, you know, for the characters, to see what they look like. I do love the gameplay, though, obviously. I'm not much of a builder. That's not one of my talents. I'm not much of a builder, unfortunately. So, but sometimes I get in the mood and I try. I think in The Sims 4 it's quite a bit easier to build. I think the tools are a little bit easier to work with than in Sims 3. And in Sims 4, there's, you know, they have those pre-stylized rooms. And I'm sorry, guys, I have to get close to this part here so I can get near the line. But they have the stylized rooms, so you can actually plunk. You can just plunk what you want down there with, you know, without it taking up a lot of time, if you like. So anyway, what I am attempting to do here on this little ornament is I'm attempting to do like a little bit of shading and blending. As you can see, there's the darker purple kind of on the outside right there, the outside circle. and then I just kind of take the lighter purple and just kind of blend it all together. To me, it just kind of gives like a little bit more depth and dimension. What I've also done is I have a piece of white paper kind of behind my page just to protect my next image, although you're not going to get bleed through really from pencils. If you're coloring with markers, you will, especially alcohol-based markers like Copics. If you guys know what Copics are, those are terribly, terribly expensive markers. There's also Prismacolor alcohol-based markers, as well as oh gosh, you know, there's other companies that make markers. If you want more affordable alcohol-based markers, try some Touch Soft or Touch 5. There's also Cali Art. There's water-based markers, which, you know, Crayola makes. Their super tips are water-based, and those kind of have a different feel to them. Other companies also make water-based markers. So if you want to try markers, you can, there's plenty of choices on Amazon, or you could actually go to a Dick Blick store and try some things out, because there's quite a lot that they have that you could take advantage of. Okay. I'm sorry guys, I have to get a little bit close so I can get like around this line right there. You can also try out some color pencils, I think, at Dick Blick and see what you like. So I would highly recommend picking up a coloring book and just trying it and seeing if it's something that you like. I had a friend, you know, she's really not a friend anymore, but I had a friend that told me, oh, I like to color, and I kind of laughed a little bit. I'm like, really? You know, this is before I knew about the coloring books for grown-ups. I said, what, really? She's like, oh, yeah. So she kind of told me about it, and I picked up a couple, and so that's how it sort of started for me. I now have, oh, Lordy, you guys are going to laugh like so hard at me. But I've been doing this since, like, I don't know, 2015, I guess. Well, maybe the end of 2014, maybe 2015. And so I have like, I have over 400 coloring books in my collection. I know, I'm crazy. I'm crazy. I didn't get them all at once, like they came over time, and some of them were a little bit more expensive than others. Like some of them I have that I have some very, very like low-end ones that I picked up at like the dollar store. But it's kind of like DVDs. Like, you know, if you ever got DVDs, like it's crazy how it adds up. Like books or DVDs, like these like books or DVDs, like it's crazy just how quickly it can add up. So basically what I'm doing with this here is you're probably gonna go, why don't you just color the darn thing in? And a lot of people will do that, and that is perfectly fine. One thing that we say about doing this coloring is there's no wrong way to do it. It is your coloring book, and you color it however you please. Okay? And it's not a contest. It's not about like, oh, seeing who can create the most like artistic looking picture. It's not about that. But what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of layering. I'm pressing like real lightly on this and just kind of layering the colors, because if you're going to blend and shade like I'm doing now, or attempting to do now, it's best to put it in layers and then blend it together, because if you press down like really hard on it, and then if you try to blend and shade, you're going to burnish your colors in, meaning that you're going to push down the tooth of the paper. The tooth of the paper is like the little, in paper you're going to see like peaks and valleys and stuff in the paper, and that's what we refer to as tooth. And so if you press down like too hard, you're going to push down the tooth of that paper and burnish the color in. And once you do that, you're not going to get any more color on top of it. So if you're going to try to do any kind of blending and shading like I'm trying to do now, do it in layers and press really lightly, because then it blends in a heck of a lot better. Then when you're satisfied with what you have, then you can kind of press down a little bit more and burnish your color in. And burnishing it in just means that you're not going to see the, because if you look like really closely at colored pencil and how it goes down, you will see some of those like peaks and valleys peeking through. And so a lot of people don't like that. And so when they are done, when they're satisfied with the part that they're doing, then they will press down and burnish that color in, and then that just kind of helps to solidify the color, and you're not going to see that white space in there. So you can take a lot of time with this as you choose. And you can, it's not a race. Unless you're in a contest or if you're doing a color along, and then there's like set times and dates that you have to get the picture finished by. But if you're just kind of coloring for your own pleasure, you can take as long as you want. And you don't have to worry about how quickly you finish up a picture, because that's not what this hobby is about. This hobby is just about having fun, being relaxed, and just doing it however you decide you want to do it. Okay? So I would highly recommend trying this. It would be so cool if they made a Sims coloring book. That would be so awesome. That would be really, really, really awesome. So what I think I'm going to do, because we've started out with this color, I'm going to use these same colors on the outside of this ornament, and then I'll pick something different for like the little petals that's going around there. So I'm going to, and I think maybe I'll color that up there gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start in. And again, I'm just going to go real light here. Like so. And then I'll use something different to color in the little petals around there. So I hope everybody is doing well. Like I said, what's been happening in your Sims game? Like I said, we're going to try to keep this Sims related since this is a simming channel. Do you guys do anything special with your Sims? Like, are you guys doing any kind of challenge right now? Which version of the game are you playing at the moment? For me, in my personal game, I'm playing Sims 3, which is usually what I play. But sometimes every once in a while, like I get in the mood to play some Sims 4. Or not, well, yeah, Sims 4. But I get in the mood to play some Sims 2, actually. And I remember one time, oh my gosh, and this was some years back. This was like, was this like in 2012, maybe? Because like when I first started, like I was like, I'm just not going to get any Sims 2 because, I'm still trying to get used to Sims 3. But then I changed my mind. I changed my mind, and in probably December, see, I went out of the line right there. I'm going to grab my little eraser. I think I made a little oopsie. But in December of 2012, I started getting the Sims 2 packs because I wanted them, I found the Sims 1 collection on Amazon, and then I got started getting the Sims 2 packs. It's probably not the best thing to use on this black background. So I started collecting the Sims 2 packs, and I managed to get all of them. Well, then it was, I think a couple of years ago, they came out with the Sims Ultimate Collection from Origin, which I took advantage of. So, I have like all of the CDs now, but I've also got the Sims 2 Ultimate Collection. But yeah, like I was saying, it was probably around like 2012, and I'd had like all of the Sims packs. and I managed to get like all of the Sims 2 packs. Okay, and let's see, how do I want to shade this? So I did manage to get like all of the Sims 2 packs, but I wasn't able to install them right away because I was playing on a Mac, and I still am playing on a Mac, but The Sims 2 doesn't work on the Mac operating system. So what I ended up having to do, because I was also having problems with The Sims 3 on the Mac because I had so much content. Like I own, like I said, probably like 99% of The Sims 3 store. Plus I have all the expansion packs, all of the stuff packs. And with as much content as I had in the game, it was giving me fits. Like it would freeze up and it would crash a lot. And it was really becoming pretty much unplayable at that point. And you know, it was having trouble with all of that content, you know, let alone if I were to add mods in the game. Like I didn't play with mods for a long time either because of it. Like it didn't do well with, you know, when I put mods in there. So I was able to get Windows 7, and I installed that through something called Boot Camp. Okay, so then I was able to, and that helped with a lot of my problems with The Sims 3. And then I was also able to install The Sims 2 as well as The Sims 1. So I was watching this LP back in like 2012. And at that point, I did have all of the packs, but I wasn't able to play them because of the problems. And I remember watching this LP and I'm going, man, I want to play The Sims 2 so bad. I want to play The Sims 2. Because like there was a lot of features in there that was really cool. You know, some features that The Sims 3 didn't have. I'm like, I want to play Sims 2. I want to play Sims 2. So I was able to get the Windows and I was able to install it. So now we are not going to be able to finish this picture on camera. We're not going to be able to finish this picture on camera because I'm not going to be able to color like all of these ornaments in one sitting, as you guys can probably tell. But we'll get done what we can get done. I try to keep these videos anywhere from like at least 45 minutes. Sometimes they go to about an hour. But I do try to keep them around as close to 45 minutes as I can. So what I think we'll do is we'll finish coloring this one ornament. And then we might start a second one and then I will call it quits, depending on how much time we have here. So as you can see, this can get quite involved, and it's kind of like, I kind of liken it to a jigsaw puzzle. Not that you're really doing a puzzle, but for anybody that is a jigsaw puzzle fan, it's not something that you can do within 2 hours. You know, if you get one of those jigsaw puzzles with like, you know, 1,000 pieces or 5,000 pieces, whatever. Unless you get like a really, really, really easy one, a jigsaw puzzle is something that's gonna take you. It's not a 2 hour long project. It's going to take you quite a bit of time to do. And coloring these pictures is like that because it's something that you probably shouldn't rush through unless you really want to. I mean, you can, you know, take as much time as you want to or take as little of time as you want to. It's your book, okay? But for a lot of people, they just, you know, they take their time and they will color it. You know, sometimes they can be a stickler for details, but they will take their time to make it as pretty as they can. So it's something that it's something that is going to take a bit of time, and it's something that you should just go ahead and let it take the time that it needs, you know, because it'll be worth it in the end. And it's just something that you can sit and do like on a rainy afternoon, or a lot of people will take them on an airplane and do. So what I'm kind of doing too, because I kind of got out of the line a little bit, is I'm taking some of this purple and just kind of going over it like so. Just because, you know, make it look a little bit wispy. Because I got out of the lines anyway. Okay. But it will be worth it in the end for you. Just, you know, try this like on a rainy afternoon, or if you're like me and you're an audiobook listener, or like if you're traveling, you can take it with you on the airplane, or if you're just kind of sitting somewhere, you know, that you know you're going to be bored, and if you don't feel like reading, you can grab one of these and a set of pencils, and you could do quite a lot with it. Okay. All right. So, like I said, it's I used to enjoy coloring as a kid. You know, I colored as a kid, and then it's like you kind of outgrow it. But then it's kind of become fashionable for adults. So, you know what? Here we are. Here we are doing it. All right, I'm going to find a couple. I'm going to find some other colors to finish up this ornament, and I shall be right back. All right, so we're back with a couple of other colors, and we're going to just see how this is going to look. So, sometimes a lot of this is like all about trial and error to see what's going to look good and what's not going to look good. You can get like a little swatch of, you can get a piece of paper and kind of test out your colors to see if you're going to like how it's going to look together. Because sometimes what you think may look good doesn't always look good. Or you may not like it. You may not like it yourself. So, have you guys all started getting ready for Christmas if you celebrate Christmas? I understand that not all of you would celebrate Christmas, but if you do celebrate Christmas, have you started getting ready for Christmas? Our Christmas is going to be pretty quiet like usual. It'll just be the hubby and me. We don't really do much. I usually cook a ham and all that good stuff. But we don't have big celebrations anymore. You know, now that the kids are grown and out, you know. And I'm sorry if I'm being a little bit silent. Sometimes, like when I'm trying to get like the tiny areas right here, I tend to concentrate just a little bit more. So, is there something Sims related that you want to get for the holidays? I've been watching Sims VIP's channel. If you're familiar with Alexa's, you know, from Sims VIP. She has like all of the latest news on the Sims. Of course, it's all about Sims 4 because, you know, Sims 3 has been totally abandoned. It really disappoints me that they didn't have anybody on staff to kind of help maintain Sims 3 because, you know, there are quite a few things wrong with it yet. And there's some things that need to be fixed that won't ever be fixed, I don't think. It seems like there's modders that are trying to deal with some of that, but it's hard to mod on a defective game, I would think. I've never tried to write any kind of mods or anything, but I would think that it would be really hard to mod on something that is defective anyway. So for Sims 4, because we were told that the mods and everything would stop working once Get Famous came out, and I think a lot of them are probably updated by now, but we were told that the mods would break because of the software that was used, like they updated the software. So we were told that all of the mods would break. So I took out all of my mods and I took out all of my CC. So my Sims 4 right now is completely vanilla. Which I do want to remedy soon. I do want to remedy soon. But I just have to get in the mood to try to re-download everything, because it is a pain. I think what I'm going to do, since I've got this pencil in hand, is I'm just going to go ahead and color over all of the little petals, and then I'll come back in with the darker pencil and work on the shading and stuff. So as you can see, this does get quite intricate and involved. But it's a lot of fun. It really is. It's a lot of fun. And I'm hoping that my head isn't in the way too much. I'm trying to keep it out of the way as much as I can. I find that if I kind of tilt it off to the side a little bit, that helps. But sometimes when I got to get into these like really tight corners, I have to be able to see what I'm doing. So, anyway, just go over all of this, and then we'll come in with the darker color and we'll fix it up a little bit more. So anyway, I've been pretty busy lately. I'm in a choral group, and so we did 3 of our concerts. We have like 2 seasons a year. We have a Christmas one, and then we have a spring one. So we've got, we usually do like maybe 5 to 6 performances for the Christmas holiday, or for the holiday season. And then we take a little break, and then we meet up again in January for the start of the next season. So we're doing 5 performances this season. So we got 3 of them down and 2 more to go. So it's going to be another busy week. We got I had a performance on Saturday and had a performance yesterday. I'm recording this on Monday, December 3rd. But at least we get like 3 evenings home. we get today, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then we have to go to Lions Club on Thursday. We have a Lions Club meeting on Thursday, and then I have a performance on Friday, and then another one. We get Saturday off, and then I have another one on Sunday. And then that will be it. We just have one on Friday, and then one on Sunday, and then that will be the end of our season. So we'll take a little break until after the holidays. We'll have a Christmas party. Usually happens like a couple of days after Christmas. We'll have a Christmas party. And, where we have a dinner, and, we do like we've done like a white elephant Christmas exchange in the past, but last year we tried something different, and we got gift cards. And so we just did gift cards last year. And that seemed to go over pretty well. So I think we may be doing the gift cards again this year. And then we'll start our spring season in January, and then those concerts, those performances will happen either like end of March or early April. And then we will be out for the summer. Once that is over with, then we'll be out for the summer. And then it'll start back over again, starting in September. But I've been in it now for like 5 years. Yeah, I've been in it now for 5 years. Gosh, time flies. Time flies. But it's a lot of fun. Because you get to sing some interesting music. Although, boy, sometimes he can really give us a stink bomb. sometimes he can really give us a stink bomb. And he's got the final say over what we sing, the director. His name is George. So George has like he has the final say over what we sing, but usually he picks out really good music. But like I said, every once in a while, we get a real stink bomb. There's this one song that we're doing now, and well, there's a couple of songs that we're doing that I really don't care for, that I'm not a big fan of. But this one song that we're doing, my husband absolutely hates. It's called "Mary, Did You Know?" And he hates that song. I'm not a big fan of it myself either. Like, I don't really care for it myself, you know. But oh my gosh, he hates that song. He absolutely hates it. And the bad part is that we've done it 3 times in as many years. Like, we did it, I don't know if they did it before I joined. Maybe they did, I don't know. But the first time when I was in it, we sang it in 2015. And then we didn't do it for 2016, but we did it for 2017. And now we're doing it again this year. So it's like, I think George has a bit of a love affair with that song. And my husband absolutely hates it. I mean, like I said, I'm no fan either, but oh my gosh, like, he hates that thing. Absolutely hates that thing. So like I said, this can get pretty involved, and as you can see, I'm just kind of going back and forth between colors. You don't have to do that. Like, you can just take like one color and just, like what I did here, like, you can just leave it like that if you want to. You can just do that if you want to. But I like to do a little bit extra. And I might have to take my eraser and just kind of clean this up a little bit, because I think I'm going over my lines just a tad. Which I'm going to have to fix. And I tend to kind of clean stuff like that up off camera, because then I can see it a little bit more. So but I will take care of that. Actually, I think I'm going to sharpen these pencils. If you sharpen them to a finer point, you can get into the tighter spaces a lot easier. I'm just taking my pencil sharpener and just sharpening up the pencils, which, like I said, when you're using colored pencils, you are going to need a pencil sharpener. Because it's just how it is. So, to a nice point. All right. Okay. Let's see, I'll be able to get into the darker areas a little bit easier right there. I'm just going to go over it like so. And then I'll come back in with the lighter pencil. But yeah, like I said, my husband, he hates that song. And there's been a couple that I just absolutely could not stand, like, over the years. Like, most of them I loved, but there's been some that I just could not stand. But that's how it is, you know. It's like not everybody's gonna like everything either. Like stuff that George really liked at times, you know, they're like, we hated, oh boy. Like he'll, like, oh my gosh, there was, during one of our spring seasons, there was this one song called Cindy. Which I don't think any of us liked. I think the only one that liked it was George. So every time he would tell us to take that song out, you know, that we were going to rehearse it, we'd all kind of just go, oh. And then most of the group, there's a lot of Catholics in our group. I am not Catholic. I am a Methodist, but there's a lot of Catholics in the group, and so I remember one time somebody said he said to take out Cindy, that we were going to practice it, and one lady says, we all decided as a group, George, that we're giving up Cindy for Lent. Which that cracked me up. Oh my gosh. Oh man, yeah, that song was something else. Alright, so what I'm going to go ahead and do now, the ornament is pretty much done. I may go over it with some a little bit more layers off camera, but I'm going to take this part and I think color it gold. So I think most of these like parts up here, like where the hooks go, I'm going to color gold. So I will do that a little bit later. What I tend to do with a lot of these is I will use like some different colors on them. Sometimes I'll go back to the same colors, you know, maybe make a theme of them, but I'll probably use like all different colors on this one. But anyway, this is pretty much like what we do. We just did the one ornament today. So as you can tell, as you can see, I mean, this, if you choose to kind of take your time with it, this picture is probably going to take me several hours to do, because I do tend to kind of go back and forth, and I do tend to go back and forth, and I do kind of blend in those colors and stuff. So this picture, the rest of this picture is going to take me several hours to do, which I will contend with. I'll probably do most of this off camera. I may show this a little bit on my other channel. So if I might decide to continue this on my other channel. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I haven't decided. So if you want to, you can come on over to my other channel and see what I will be coloring. I think I'll be coloring quite a bit more out of this book, both on and off camera this year, because I do like this book. So I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this little sneak peek at what I do on my other channel. And I hope you guys enjoyed the little chat that we did today. We did try to keep it Sims related, but there's been some other stuff going on too, which I did talk about. So I'm just zooming out just a little bit so that we can see it. So there's a lot more ornaments to color, as we can see. But this is what we got done today in this video. If you enjoyed this kind of thing, you can go to my other channel and watch my videos over there. If you want to see a little bit more of this on this channel, you know, once in a while, I mean, we do mostly Sims, but if you want to see more of this on this channel, we can certainly do that too. You know, I'm open to whatever you guys suggest. So let me know if you guys like this sort of thing, and if you did, you can go to my other channel and subscribe, but you can also subscribe to this channel, leave a comment and tell me what you think. Of course, hit the like button. You all have a Simtastic day, and the next time we see you will be in my Sims game. All right, bye guys.